Welcome back to our conversation with James Kirchick of Dover. He is the author of Secret City, The Hidden History of Gay Washington. Jamie, will you explain to our audience what the Frank Rule is or was?
Yeah, it's named after Barney Frank, the famous congressman from the 4th District, if that still exists. I know there's been some... and he came up with a rule about outing, which, as we discussed in the last segment, which is the exposure of a closeted gay person's sexuality and when is it appropriate. And Barney Frank said it was appropriate in terms of hypocrisy, and that if you are a public figure or politician and you are saying one thing about gay people and gay rights and doing another, then he said in those cases it would be acceptable to expose someone's sexual orientation. I think it's still a controversial rule. There are a lot of people who would say even in those cases it's not acceptable. That there are some people who would say it's never acceptable. So it's quite a debate.
Well, now, in spite of all of the advances in terms of cultural attitudes toward homosexuality and the intersection of that with politics, you know, we see on a daily basis the political weaponization of issues like transsexuality. We have a nominee of one of our major parties in the state for a major statewide office, Secretary of State, who used really vulgar language at the recent state party convention to describe sexual practices that are allegedly and falsely claiming that these were being taught in school.
Right.
When you see that going on, do you think back to all of your research and wonder about our progress?
Well, I think the story that I tell in the book, and really of sort of gay Americans in general, it's one of, you know, 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And so, you know, World War II was a very important moment in sort of gay visibility. You had all these gay people from rural parts of the country coming together for the first time to serve in the military. And really that's when gay consciousness, a gay community, begins to develop during World War II. And then after World War II, we see this massive backlash with the Lavender Scare, which is the purge of gay men and women from government jobs. It runs alongside the Red Scare. Then in 1969, we have the Stonewall Uprising and gay liberation, and you have gay people coming out of the closet, and Harvey Milk and some public officials. And then that's followed by Anita Bryant, who was the Florida orange juice spokeswoman who ran a nationwide anti-gay campaign called Save Our Children to prohibit gay people from teaching in public schools. And then in the 90s, we have Ellen DeGeneres coming out on television. We have Bill Clinton welcoming gay people into a presidential administration, openly gay people into a presidential administration for the first time. There's lots of cultural visibility for gay people in the 90s. And then that's followed by the attempt to enshrine an anti-gay marriage amendment in the U.S. Constitution. And I think this latest sort of spasm that we're seeing in certain states across the country, I would look back towards a poll that came out last year, and it showed that the number or the percent of self-identified LGBT people in America doubled over the past decade. And I think that can be frightening for some people, and it's sort of disconcerting, and I think that's what we're seeing now, is this sort of backlash to that increased visibility. And while it's uncomfortable right now in the moment to be looking at it and experiencing it, if you look at the broad sweep of American history, it's hard not to be generally optimistic.
Well, you know what, that's a great note to end on, because this story that you tell in Secret City is bleak and it's sad and it's depressing in many ways. But ultimately, I guess Martin Luther King said the arc of history bends toward justice. Maybe your book bears that out.
I hope. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the book, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, John.
Jamie Kirchick of Dover, pride of Dover, author of Secret City, The Hidden History of Gay Washington.